Hello learners, welcome to our next virtual learning for the day. I hope you are all doing well. Today we have mathematics for basic 6 and our strand is proportion as equal ratio. And our substrand is express ratio of the first quantity to the second quantity in their simplest form. Alright? Let's just look at our learning objective for the day, which says by the end of the day we should be able to express ratios of the first quantity to the second quantity in their simplest form. Now let us look at our starter for the day. We have 8 kilogram and 32 kilogram. 8 kilogram and 32 kilogram. We have 15 minutes and 2 hours. And then the last one is 45 minutes and 1 hour 30 minutes. Right? Now, last time or in our previous lesson, we've learned equal ratio in the respective proportion. And I told you that anytime you see something like this, you have to reduce it to its simplest form. Right? Its simplest form. Now, considering the units here, we have kilogram and kilogram here, kilogram and kilogram here. So this tells us that the units are the same, kilogram and kilogram. So there is nothing to change. All we need to do in this case is to reduce the numbers to its lowest term or its simplest form. So I come here and I write 8 is to 32. This is how I'm going to write it. You can leave the units because they are the same. So this is our working for the day. So we look for a number that can go what? Into 8 and at the same time can go into what? 32. So I can use what? 4. Or I can use 8. And I say 8 goes into itself 1, goes into 32 how many times? 4 times. So my answer is 4 is to 8. 4 is to 8. This is how we write it in ratio form. 4 is to 8. Now I consider the second answer, the second question, which is 15 minutes. So in ratio, we consider this as what? 1 is to 4. Right? 1 is to 4. 1 is to 4. 8 goes into itself. 1 goes into 32 how many times? 4 times. So we say what? 1 is to 4. Right? So we break it down and this is our final answer. Now we consider the second one, which is 15 minutes and 2 hours. Now 15 minutes is here. So we consider the second one, or we change it into what? Minutes. Alright? And we have 2 hours here. How do we change 2 hours into minutes? Or hours into minutes? With what? We all know that 60 minutes make what? 1 hour. Then what about 2 hours? If 60 minutes make 1 hour, then what about 2 hours? So we add another 60 minutes, which what? Make what? 120 minutes. Right? 120 minutes. So we add 60 plus 60 will give us 120. So 60 minutes make 1 hour. 2 hours make what? 120 minutes. Now I come here. What am I going to do in this case? Now I am not more going to write 2 hours here. I'm going to write 120 minutes because the hour has been converted into minutes. Alright, so to solve this question, I write it as 15 minutes, alright, and 120 minutes, which can be written as 15 is to 120. Then I have to break these numbers down. or reduce it to its lowest term. How do I do this? So in this case, I look for a number that can go into 15 and at the same time 120. And that number can be 3. So I use 3. 3 goes here, 5. This number is big. So for me not to be confused, I take the same 3. I leave the 0 here and I take 12. 3 goes into 12 how many times? 4. So here, or 3 goes into what? 120, 40 times. If you can't do, let 3 goes into 12, 4 times, then you add the 0 to it, which is what? 40. So I come here, 5 is to 40. I step down the 5 and I step down the 40. Alright? And I still look for a number that can go into 5 and at the same time 40. Which number is that? 5 go into itself. Sorry. 1 time go into 40 how many times? 8 times. This is my final answer. I cannot reduce 1 and 8. No. So this is my final answer. So we can also do this one too. Alright, so let's see, try whether we can do this one. 45 minutes and 1 hour 30 minutes. 45 minutes, 1 hour 30 minutes. So we already have 45 minutes here, and then 1 hour 30 minutes. So 45, they have what? Look at the minute here. There's another minute here. But we have hour, 1 hour here, which must be what? Changed or converted into minutes. Alright? Or we all know that 60 minutes make what? An hour, or make 1 hour. So I come here, 45 minutes. Alright? And how many minutes make 1 hour? 60 minutes make 1 hour. So I come here and 60 what? Minutes, then comma 60 minutes. You don't forget to write this one. That is what? 60 minutes and then 30 minutes. So I only change this one into what? Minutes, which is 60 minutes. And then I have another 30 minutes here. So what am I going to do in this case? I write my 45 is to here. We have 60 minutes and 30 minutes. What you need to do is what? Add the both numbers, which is 60 plus 30 will give us what? 90. So I come here, 45 is to 90. Alright? So I have to reduce these numbers to the lowest, and now 45, very fortunately, 45 can go into itself how many times? 1 time. And go into 90 how many times? 2 times. This is my what? Answer. So I say 1 is to 2. I can't reduce this one. This is the final answer. I hope you understand. Now let's look at this few exercise here and see whether we can do it now. I read the heading which says, which of the following quantities are in proportion? This is the question of the day. So we are looking for what? The quantities here, whether they have the same proportion. Okay, so we have to solve these 2 units here and also solve these 2 units to see whether they have matched or they have the same what? Quantity in their respective proportions. So question number 1 is 5 kilogram, 1 kilogram, and what? 20 centimeters, and 4 centimeters. All right. So you look at this. The units here, they have the same what? Combination. Kilogram, centimeters, and what? Centimeters. So what am I going to do here? I have to break this one down to its simplest form and also break this one down to compare the two, whether they have the same proportion. So what am I going to do here? I step down this one, which is 5:1. And then I come here and 20:4. Then I can reduce this one because there's no number that can go into what? 5 exactly and at the same time 1. So I still repeat 5:1. And I come to the second number, which is 20:4. Then which number can go into 20 and at the same time? What? 4. Alright? So 4 can go into 20 how many times? 5 times. And 4 can go into itself only 1 time. So I write here 5:1. This shows that the quantities are in proportion. The quantities are in what? Proportion. Why? Because we have 5:1 here, and at the same time 5:1. Respectively, we have 5:1 and also 5:1. Therefore, the quantities are in proportion. Thank you very much. Now let's look at the second question. Then question number 2 is 40 books. That is what? 40 books. That is BKS. 40 books. I short it like that. Then 10 books and 20 cedis, Ghana cedis, and then 5 Ghana cedis. I am asked to what? Break this one down. We have books, the same what? Books. So the units are the same. So I what? Step down the 40:10. And I bring my end. 20, they are all a what? Ghana cedis. So I only step down the 20. Step down the 20 is to what? 5. Then I look for a number that what? I can break this one down and at the same time break this number down. So which number can go into 40 and also go into 10? So look for a number. 10 can go into 40 how many times? 4 times. And then go into itself 1. Therefore I have here 4:1. And I bring my end here. I have to solve this one too. And then I look for a number that can go into 20 and at the same time what? 5. Then I take 5. 5 can go into 20 how many times? 4 times. Go into itself 1. So I come here 4:1. Now I can, in this case, we can see that the proportions here are what? The quantities here, are in their respective proportions. We have 4:1 and also 4:1. 4:1 and also 4:1. This is it. Now I want to look at question number 3. Then you can take care of question number 4. All right. So let's move on to question number 3. Question number 3. Question number 3 is 1 meter and 15 meters. And we have 12 Ghana cedis and 180 Ghana cedis. So how do we do this? The method we use in the first place, that is what we are going to use for question number 3. So I come here, it's in what? The units are the same. Meter, Ghana cedi, and Ghana cedi. So I come here 1:15 and 12 cedis, I write the 12 without writing the Ghana cedis, is to 180. Alright? There's no number that can go into 1 exactly and at the same time 15. No. So I step down the same number, or I repeat the same number. And I come here. Which number can go into 12 and at the same time 180. 180. Which number can go into 12 at the same time? 180. So I look for 12 here, can go into what? itself. Alright? 12 can go into itself. 1 and goes into 180. 15. 15. So I come here. 1 is to what? 15. If you multiply 12 times 15, it will give you 180. You can try that and see. Alright? So we want to know whether the quantities are in proportion. We have, yes, 1 is to 15 and what? 1 is to 15. Therefore, the quantities are in proportion. Anyway, I hope you understand today's lesson. Try and do question number 4 for me so that when we meet next time, I can take a look at it. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.